Hello everyone, this is Flavia and I hope all is well. Today we will be creating a fun note card with the Spellbinders May 2024 Stitching Die of the Month called Stitched Pineapple. Here is a closer look at the metal plates included in this die set. Notice that we will need to cut out and layer 3 different die cut pieces to create a large pineapple. And this large oval shape on the left side of the screen will cut out tiny holes on the cardstock that we can use to do some stitching. If you can't stitch or if you don't feel like it, stay tuned because I will have a similar note card example for you without the stitching, and I think that both options look great. Let's begin by stitching a die cut pineapple. To do so, I will be using a metallic DMC floss, and I will make sure to list all products used in this video in the description box down below, so you can always check it out later. We will begin by feeding the needle through one hole and taping one end of the thread in the back of this die cut, so we do not have to worry about holding it in place as we stitch. Once that is done, we can begin stitching by simply following the engraved lines that the metal plate created on the cardstock. I am speeding up the video here just to be mindful of your time, but note that I was not moving this fast in real life. So make sure to also take your time as you do this and really enjoy the process. To glue these die-cut pieces together, we need to make sure that we are using a strong liquid adhesive, and the one that I like to use is the Barley Art Glue. Since this pineapple has a lot going on in the back, because of all of the stitching that we just did on one layer, I will use some self-lock tweezers to hold the edges of these die cuts together as the glue dries. In the meantime, we can go ahead and assemble the pineapple crown. I did cut out each piece twice, once out of Spellbinders cardstock in the color Forest, and a second time out of a leftover piece of metallic green cardstock. I will glue the Forest color die cuts on top of the metallic green die cuts, making sure to slightly offset the pieces that go on top, so a small section of each green metallic die cut is visible. This will add a little bit of shine to the pineapple crown. To add some texture to the background panel, I will use the Spellbinders May 2024 embossing folder of the month. I like to mist the cardstock with water to avoid cracks and tears on the paper, and after I run this through my Platinum 6 die cutting machine, I will adhere the dry emboss panel to another layer of cardstock to help eliminate any warping on the paper. Only then I will trim off this dry embossed panel to 5.5 by 4.25 inches and adhere it to an A2 size note card. I will use foam adhesive to adhere the pineapple to the front of my note card so it has a little bit of dimension. For the sentiment, I hot foiled Hello Sweet Friend using a piece of golden foil and an old hot foil plate. And now let's have some fun decorating this pineapple. We could definitely use it as it is, or we can get creative with the supplies that we already have. I did glue golden flat back beads in the center of each stitched section for some added interest, and now I will add some die cut flowers and leaves that I already had ready to go. And now I will hot foil the flap of the envelope just for fun using a hot foil plate from the Spellbinders April 2024 Glimmer Kit of the Month. To do so, I will first create a hinge by taping the plate to the flap of my envelope using small pieces of low-tech tape so it doesn't damage my envelope once it is time to remove it. After that, I can go ahead and slide a piece of golden foil under the metal plate. I will follow my Glimmer machine instruction for creating my sandwich, and once the hot foiling process is done, the next step is to remove the entire platform from the Glimmer machine and run it through a compatible die cutting machine just to apply pressure. Then we can finally remove the hot foil plate to reveal the amazing result. Here is a closer look at the completed note cards along with the matching envelopes. The only difference between these two note cards is that one pineapple was hand-stitched and the other one was not. I simply layered the die-cut pieces and added flat back beads in the center of each round section, just like I did with the stitched pineapple. Also, to create the foil sentiment for the note card with a pineapple that I did not stitch, I simply used the leftover piece of foil from the other note card and did the reverse foiling technique so nothing will go to waste. If you're interested, I have a list of all products used today in the description box down below. For pictures and more information, make sure to visit my blog. I would love to have you there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and watching this video until the end. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, take care, and I hope to see you again soon.